When Ananias obeyed the commands of God, Saul regained his vision. And when Ananias obeyed the commands of God, Paul became the greatest church planter of all time. When Ananias obeyed the commands of God, Paul was strengthened and refreshed. When Ananias obeyed the commands of God, souls got saved through the ministry of Paul. And in verse 20, immediately Paul began proclaiming Jesus in the synagogue and saying, "He is the Son of God." When Ananias obeyed the commands of God, the once terrorist walked into the temple with a testimony. The man that once sought to kill the followers of Christ was now sitting with the followers of Christ. The man who breathed threats and was seeking to ravage the church started breathing out the word of God and raising the church. The terrorist had a great testimony. You never know if the person that God is calling you to, the person God is calling you to talk to, or the person that God is calling you to visit with, or the person that God is calling you to speak to at the gas station or the grocery store, you never know if that person God is calling you to minister to is going to be the next great evangelist or preacher. God has a plan to use you and the lives of those around you so that He can then minister to other people through them. And the last thing I think any of us want to do is to be in God's way of working in somebody else's life because we think God made a mistake. God tells Ananias, He says, "I know exactly what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. This man Saul is my chosen instrument. I picked him. He's my instrument. I'm going to use him. And he's going to take my message of salvation to the Gentiles and to the kings and to the Israelites, and he's not going to be able to do that unless you go and minister to him. So I need you to go to minister to him now so he can minister to them later on."